All right, I'm glad to say joining me on this episode of the Waterford FC Official Podcast is Tommy Lonergan. Tommy, how are you?
Good, yeah.
I know we sat down only what feels like a couple of weeks ago to have a short chat when you signed your new deal, but we did vow at the time that we'd sit down and have a longer chat.
So Here we are.
I suppose, how are you feeling? How's the body? How's the head? How's everything?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Obviously, we haven't had really great results the last few games, but there's still 8 games left and there's all to play for. So, yeah, just looking forward and taking it game by game.
Do you know what's really gas is I always say this on any of these I record. I try not to do too much research because I want to kind of chat and learn as I'm going, as the listener is, and I don't want it to feel like too much of a questions and answers session either. But in doing the little bit of research that I was doing on yourself before all this, I can't believe you're still only 21.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, a few people say that to me sometimes. I don't know. Yeah, I just think I kind of got into the game really young.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was at Pat's in the academy, and Stephen O'Donnell brought me up when I was 17. Yeah. And then from there, I've just been in amongst the first team constantly. And I have to obviously give credit to Stevie for picking me out. But yeah, ever since then, I've just been in and around the first team.
So the main thing I needed to ask you was, in doing my research, you're from Dunboyne in County Meath.
Yeah.
Some would argue maybe some sort of a suburb of Dublin, but it is County Meath.
Yeah.
How do you end up playing your schoolboy football with Cherry Orchard in Ballier?
Yeah, that's a good question. The funny story of it is my dad would have his local pub, and I would, sometimes just chill in there with all the other young kids, and one of the locals there kind of picked me out and just said, there's Cherry Orchard trials there tomorrow, I'm going to bring him up. And obviously, before this, I didn't really know anything about football, never played it, and just went up, and then the manager, Richard Shannon, he seen something in me, and from there just play for Cherry Orchard.
So hang on, I'm going to have to track back a little bit here. So listen, I know Cherry Orchard, I think everyone in the country knows who they are, probably one of the best non-League of Ireland teams, one of the most famous, but it's produced so many players. I have a little connection to Ballier myself over the years, so I know how important it is to the people there and stuff like that. But you're in Dunboyne, County Meath, you're in your dad's local.
Yeah.
You've never played football before, and someone just says, let's get this fella to Cherry Orchard. Come on.
Yeah, obviously I played lots of GAA, and I played a bit of football in school and stuff, but never with a team, maybe out in the back garden. But yeah, literally never kicked a ball before, and then I rocked up. And,
how old are you at this point?
I'm probably 9 years old.
So what were you playing? You were playing hurling?
Hurling and Gaelic.
Gaelic and hurling. So obviously you must have been a bit of a standout at that after.
Yeah, I was a decent GAA player. Yeah.
Okay, how decent were you? At 9 years of age,
I'd like to be modest, but I was probably one of the best.
Listen, right, there's no need for modesty here because you're playing for the club, you're a professional footballer. So we don't need modesty here. We know what professional footballers are like, and also we also know what fellas are like when you're going to school and they're good at everything. So what I'm getting from you is you're one of them kids.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at most sports I play. Yeah, and obviously my dad was a big hurling head from Tipperary, so he just pretty much raised me from hurling. Okay. And then, so I played just pretty much Gaelic and hurling the whole time.
So did your dad have a hurley in your hand when you were
literally
just starting to walk?
Wouldn't even be walking. When I was crawling, I'd have a hurley in my hand.
I know this is a football podcast, but I think people down this end of the country, Tip, Waterford, Wexford, Kilkenny, Cork even, if I could be so bold, will know that a lot of young boys, by the time they're able to walk, have a little hurl in their hand in the hopes that they might make county.
Exactly, yeah.
I suppose I'm skipping ahead here, but did that come into it for you? Was there ever a time when you had to choose?
There was times where I'd be playing a football match or a hurling match, and then I'd get in the car and I'd be flying over to a soccer or a hurling match. And when you got to about 13, 14, the DDSL started coming into play, and then they were kind of you have to pick one, and then obviously just went with football and just, ever since just played football then,
Good choice, I think.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
It's the first time this has come up on the podcast, I think, since the very first one I did was with Podge. Yeah. And Podge was one of you, good at everything. Yeah. Dual sport, tri-sport athlete, if you like, and was the same thing. And I think he even told us a couple of stories about being the wrong name on the card and stuff like that.
Yeah, he told me a few of them as well.
But it's very, very interesting because there's actually a couple of lads I know who I won't name, but people know in Waterford, who were stand-out soccer players in our age group. I'm talking about leaving cert 03, 04, that kind of time, who were on trial in the Premier League, Newcastle, Aston Villa, those types of teams, and ended up carving out a career in hurling because that was what their passion was.
It's mad, I think the hurling and the GA is like giving me like a lot as well to football, because I feel like when you're playing, you know, different sports, I'd say to like a lot of kids, like when they're young, if they play as many sports as you can, it'll help you in whatever sport you kind of go on to do. Like,
that's very interesting. So Cherry Orchard, anyway, we'll get back to that because I just found this so interesting. Your dad's mate or someone drinking in the pub said, let's get him to a Cherry Orchard. That's not a short spin now from Dunboyne to Balliol.
Do you know, it's actually not too bad. It's about 30 minutes.
All?
Yeah, that's
I would have said 45. So that's not too bad. So you go down there for your trial at 9 years of age and you're kind of picked up.
Yeah, just I came in and done a little trial. It was like a tournament, and I just got on really well. I think I was actually playing in the midfield in the tournament and scored a few goals. And obviously I was still very raw, like didn't have like the technique of some of the other players, but he seen something in me, and ever since then just played under him. The
one thing I found fascinating when I spent a bit of time up in Ballyfermot was I didn't realise. Now I know there's clubs in Waterford that do it now, but I couldn't understand how a junior league club, you were doing trials for them. And it's like, I know the DDSL and all that kind of stuff, and it makes sense now, but we didn't. Down in Waterford, we're getting there now, but they were already there in the I suppose 2010s, really, weren't they?
Yeah. No, they were like obviously I didn't know how big of a club like Cherry Orchard was when I was young, but then like the trial, there was like 40 or 50 kids at the trial, and obviously to be picked, to be fair, I think he's one of the top recruiting. Like, he can see a player, Richard Shannon, and he just seen something in me, and the amount of players that he's picked up, like James Banquet, he's at Waterford now, Glorian Zingo, Ben Quinn, like there's some serious talent that he picked out like at a young age, and I kind of just give all credit to him to like, you know, pick me up and give me all the talent.
And we'll move off Cherry Orchard soon, but they're just such a brilliant club, I think, and they're great for, obviously Ballyfermot, a great working class area, but they're great about getting kids involved in sport, about, you know, seeing a good talent and keeping them out of a bit of trouble that they might find themselves in. I think it's just a brilliant club, Cherry Orchard.
No, it is 100%. There's lots of, you know, GAA clubs there, obviously football clubs, and I think the main sense of community is probably the football club at Cherry Orchard.
Definitely, when they're down the main or in
exactly,
keeping out of the 79
on the lawns.
So tell me, look, you go to Pats then from there. I think you were 15, am I right?
14, 15.
Are they happy for you to go from Cherry Orchard? Is that what their aim is, really, to get you there?
Yeah, Cherry Orchard's a bit of a feeder club to Pats now. So I think literally nearly all of our team went, like nearly the whole Pats team was made up of Cherry Orchard players, and then there's a few that was picked as well. But like, it was a very easy transition because most of the players I was playing with were already at Cherry Orchard. So, and
that was something I was going to ask as well, because obviously there's an inch of core Ballyfermot next to each other.
Exactly,
but how did you feel like the progression was already starting then, or was it just, did it seem like a rite of passage because so many go from Cherry Orchard to Pats?
Yeah, like, no, obviously I had a few options to go to, you know, other League of Ireland clubs like Rovers, Bows, but I chatted to Sean O'Connor, was the 15s manager, and he was taking all the Cherry Orchard players, and you know, he was very good. We won the double in under 15s. We had a really, really good team. So, and then from there it was just, you know, just keep playing and see how far you can make it.
And I did see that you won the double straight away in your first year. Do you think maybe because you were already a team coming into it that you had a little bit of an advantage over the others?
I think so. Like, we were very good that year. Like, we bet most teams by like 3 or 4 goals, but there were still really good teams. Like Bows had Evan Ferguson, Jamie Mullins, like really good players. Rovers obviously had great players as well, but I think we probably were the best like gel team at that stage. Obviously Rovers probably didn't have the pick that we did, from because there was a whole team from Cherry Orchard that came, so we kind of already had the chemistry and players like that.
Yeah, and I mean, like we spoke at the very start, like I said, I can't believe you're only 21, but when you're talking about getting that kind of experience already as a 15-year-old, and you know, coming from the pedigree from Cherry Orchard right into a Pats under 15 team, like I was going to say youth team, not even anywhere near youth yet, but you started kind of playing above your age group then, I think, for Pats, did you?
So then after under 15s, it goes straight to 17s.
Yeah.
And then I had a good year with the 17s as well, but then that kind of got disrupted with COVID a bit. Yeah. And then I think we went back into training after COVID. I went straight into the 19s then when I was 16, I think.
Yeah.
And then obviously we had a really good under-19s team then, and I was doing really well at that stage. I think I got into the gym during COVID and trained really hard during it, and then obviously Stevie O'Donnell picked me up and I started training with the first team, and from there I just like fell in love with it.
I know people don't like going on about COVID because it was such an absolutely crap time and stuff, but it sounds to me like you used it to your advantage. I know a lot of different people, myself included, in the different industries, whether it be sports, entertainment, whatever. I went the other way. I went, oh my God, life is over. I had a couple of projects that were on the development that got all knocked. I was supposed to move to America. That couldn't happen. But I do know some people like yourself got into the gym, and actually use it as a positive thing.
No, just during COVID, I have like two brothers as well, so that obviously makes it easier. But just going into the gym, going for jogs, just playing football, kind of just keep your mind off, just being away from your friends and school.
So there wasn't a moment where you went, I'm just kind of on my way up here now and it's getting halted. You didn't find it frustrating? You just kind of said,
no, I just kind of just took it by ear. Like I kind of always thought that, it was the COVID thing was going to be over. So obviously it kind of, was longer than I thought it was going to be, but it was also that stage where it didn't really disrupt my career because I wasn't at the first team yet. So I was like maybe 16.
You were 16
years old, so I wasn't, missing out on first team football. I was kind of just like maybe even it gave me another chance just to kind of bulk up and get to the first team level. Like
that makes perfect sense. I think me trying to compare my COVID to yours is a little bit different. I turned 35 the summer of COVID, so I was under a little bit of time pressure. You weren't. But then you break through the Pats team then in 2021 when it was still a little bit COVID-y, if you like.
It was,
But was there was probably fans allowed back in around that stage, was there?
I think that when they were playing during with no fans, and then in the summer during the middle of the season, that's when I got called in and started training throughout the summer. Obviously I didn't have any school or anything like that. So it was just full-time football. Obviously actually Josh Keeley, that's at Luton now, he was training there full time, so me and him were going in with each other every day in the car, and it was just, there was no pressure, it was just training and just enjoying it.
So like, I think it was the FAI Cup you made your debut in. And that would have been around the time, July 21, so they probably had a scattering of fans in there. We were definitely back in the RSC around that stage. Is it kind of like, right, I've just been waiting for this now, did it feel natural that you were making the move even though you're only about 16, 17? No,
I was like even before that, I was thinking like I had a chance of playing. Obviously, I think Pats are pushing for first or second. I don't know what it was, but we had a good year that year. Pats did, and but I think we were 5-0 up, and the game was over, and then just got the finger and said, "Come on." So I was quite nervous, but it was brilliant. Then when I was on the pitch, I was buzzing to make the debut. Obviously.
It's a really like, I mean, Pat's such a storied club as well, up in Inchicore. Was it Richmond?
It was Richmond.
That's what a way to make your debut, you know, and in the FA Cup as well. And it was Bray Wanderers, I think. Was
Bray
it?
Wanderers,
So you see the season out from there, really. I think you were on the bench a couple of times after that.
Yeah. So what happened after that was, I think I was doing, I don't know what. I think I went back to school, so I wasn't training in the mornings, because obviously my mum wanted me to knuckle down in school. So I stopped going to the first team sessions and I went back to school, and then then it kind of went from there. And then obviously in the off season, then I think Stephen O'Donnell left, so it kind of left me, didn't know really where I was. So then that's where I kind of made the transition to UCD.
So how does that move come about then? Or how does it get proposed to you that move might happen?
I think the manager, Andy Myler, just gave me a ring and just said that we've been kind of monitoring. I had a really good under-19s season with Pats. I was a top scorer. And I kind of had a few opportunities to go abroad, but I still had my leaving cert that year. So I said I'd stick out the year with UCD and do there, but then obviously I got injured in pre-season with UCD and didn't actually make my debut till the summer, but it kind of worked out because I had my leaving cert anyway.
So you did your leaving now. I didn't want to ask because I don't like but that's really good that you did that. And obviously it sounds to me like your mum.
Yeah, she wanted me to get a decent leaving cert.
And that's really, really important. I think that's important to kind of, even for younger listeners. It is like, whatever you do afterwards, once you get your leaving cert, I think you have options later in life, even if you want to do that. Plenty of people go back. But I wanted to ask you about the injury. Was it a fractured ankle?
It was. I think it was 3 or 4 torn ligaments on the outside of my ankle. But when I actually first went into the hospital, it was like so bad they thought it was dislocated. But yeah, it was definitely the worst injury I've ever got.
And I think people even playing at a junior level, schoolboy level, whatever you want, even in leagues or whatever, if you've had an ankle injury like that, it's incredibly painful.
Oh yeah, no, it was the worst pain.
And it can for amateur players playing in a junior league or whatever, it can actually stop you. Like that
100%, yeah.
It's like, listen, I never played at any real level other than, locally here, but I think I got a bad ankle injury at 17, tried coming and going, and I couldn't even play at real level after that from torn ligament. So as a professional, it's your first bad injury. It is fairly bad.
Yeah, it was bad, yeah.
Do you start thinking like, oh my God, am I going to be, or are you too young to even start thinking about that?
I think it was good because I was young, and obviously had the leaving cert to distract me as well. But no, when it first happened, it was just, all right, let's just get over this. And I just didn't really have time to dwell on it because I was obviously studying and going to school every day. But yeah, when it first happened, it was a bit of a shock because I've never really been injured before. I'd say like the maximum I've ever been out was 2 weeks. So when I got that injury, it was a bit of a shock, but I kind of just dealt with it day by day.
And tell me this, do UCD then, do they kind of oversee your rehabilitation? Because I know how important that is on an ankle, especially with ligaments as well.
Yeah, no, they were very good at during it. Like I went in with the physios like once a week. Obviously I didn't go too many times a week because obviously UCD is a bit of a trek. But I've done a bit of rehabilitation there and gave me exercises to do, and it was an excuse to get out of studying. So I did a bit,
And it's I mentioned how far Cherry Orchard is from Dunboyne, but I never even thought about how far UCD is.
Yeah.
Like obviously though, your parents are very supportive. I mean, especially with your mum talking about leaving, so they were happy to kind of.
Yeah, and there was actually a few Dunboyne lads as well that were playing for UCD at the time, so there's a bit of a car school going on. Yeah.
So look, your rehab from that injury, it maybe comes at a good time because as you said, you could focus on your leave and you get your leave and you're coming back, and then all of a sudden you just start banging in goals for UCD.
Yeah, it was looking back now, it was the perfect start. But obviously when I was in the academy, I was just scoring goals, and then when I kind of went into UCD, I started scoring goals, and then I just thought it was normal.
Right.
Like I didn't like, not like that scoring like isn't normal, but it's just like it was just easy because obviously there's less pressure at UCD. There wasn't many fans, and I just kind of took it in stride. I had a really great team as well that fed me the ball really well, and I just had a really good time there.
And that's something you like. Scoring goals is not easy.
No.
And I think that's because you can look at any level of football and a goal scorer is always so coveted.
Yeah.
But is that something you've always just had an eye for and had a knack for, is just putting the ball in the net?
Yeah, I think like even in different sports, I was always if in hurling or Gaelic, I'd be a forward, or as soon as in football, I was a midfielder for a while, but then my manager kind of seen that I had a knack for scoring goals, so he just started putting me forward again. So it's just just like scoring goals.
And you said something else really interesting there around UCD, and listen, it's not to disparage any club or anything like that, but they're not known for their fan base, obviously, it being what it is. Does that really kind of alleviate a lot of pressure then, because you're just kind of playing?
Well, yeah, it didn't. To be fair, they had a good few young kids that were obviously at every game as well, but I think it was probably the perfect step for me because obviously, as young, I was probably 18 years of age, so I think if I was in like a club like Pat's maybe at the start of my career, maybe I wouldn't have found it as easy because obviously there's pressures, there's expectations. At UCD, you're kind of, every game's a free hit. And it was the perfect place for me to be at the time. Yeah,
because I think 18 years of age, just coming off doing your leave and just coming off doing your ankle.
Yeah.
If you're turning up in Richmond Park, expected to bang in goals, it probably gets a bit nervy for 5,000 or 6,000 people or whatever it is looking at you. Whereas, I think it was 10 goals you got, and that's probably half a season.
Yeah, no, I think it was 12 goals actually.
All right.
But no, it was just when I got in there, it was easy. The team, and obviously there was an injury to one of the strikers at UCD at that time, so it kind of gave me
That's what got you in.
That got me in, and then when I just got in, it was just normal. The team was very good, and we just had a great season. We obviously stayed up, and we just had a good season.
Well, look, speaking of staying up, it brings me to the playoff that year. You scored the goal basically that kept us down that year.
Yeah.
And how did you, I think at the time, the UCD had been a bit of a bogey side for us in playoffs over the years. When you're down that kind of end of the spectrum and you're looking at a Waterford team who was was a good side at the time.
Yeah, no, it was very good, yeah.
And I think we all had pretty much high hopes, and we were kind of thinking that, I know there's a little bit of a bogey thing hanging over us here, but we should get this done.
Yeah.
How does it feel being the Premier League team that's looking down at the First Division team? Is there nerves? Is there kind of an expectation that we should win?
It was more we knew that we, like, you had really good attacking players like Phoenix and Junior. Obviously I played with them at Fleetwood as well.
That's right.
So we kind of done our homework on them too a lot. Like, that was probably our main focus.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we were kind of, what happened in the game was obviously we kind of nicked the goal early, and then
that's right.
we pretty much just sat back and just defended the whole game. And how you didn't score, I don't know, but it's just one of them games where it happened for us and it just didn't happen for you. Yeah, I don't know. I
was listening to that game on a WLR FM stream in New York. I was waiting to go to the airport.
Yeah.
I've been over there working on a thing, and I remember you scoring the goal, and I was in Olive Garden listening to it, and I went, who's this Tommy Lonergan? Yeah. And then I was getting the shuttle back to the airport, and I was trying to connect to the free Wi-Fi's in New York as I was going along in the traffic. And just as I got to the tunnel to head out towards JFK Airport, I lost signal, and it said Waterford have a penalty, and Junior standing over the ball, and I didn't know what happened until I got to JFK Airport.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, look, he's a good lad.
He's a great lad,
So look, you obviously were a hot property for UCD after that. I mean, you
Yeah.
come in after a bad injury, which, to be honest, probably could have put a lot of young lads' heads down.
Yeah.
You would go the opposite way. You're scoring what I thought was 10. What you're saying is 12 goals in half a season for UCD. So look, you're a hot property then. I think there was a lot of interest in you from there then.
Yeah.
And so it's probably almost feels like when you're 15 again.
Yeah.
Pats, Rovers, Bows,
Yeah.
all coming in looking at you. Derry probably. What was the decision like? Was it a no-brainer to go back to St. Pat's?
Yeah, there was the two main interests at that time was probably Dundalk and Pats.
Okay.
And obviously Dundalk had Stevie O'Donnell was the manager, and obviously he was the man that brought me up to the first team. So it was a really hard decision, but I think just Pats being so close to home and being there originally, it probably was the factor that made me come back to Pats.
Yeah, and like the Dundalk thing as well, and you said like Stevie was there. It must have been quite a difficult decision.
No, it was, because obviously I went up and met up with Stevie a few times, and obviously I had really big respect for Stevie because he obviously brought me up, and he was very good to me. But yeah, I just think when Pats came knocking, like, it was obviously just the facilities Pats have, the pitch, just like it's amazing to play in, obviously.
Sure.
And it was just really hard to refuse, and I just had to go for it.
And how much of you're probably still 18 at that stage, are you? You're going on 19?
I'm 18, turning 19 in January.
19,
yeah,
that's right. So like, how much of it is your decision? Obviously it is your decision, you're a man at that stage.
Yeah.
But are you getting advice from the parents' side of things at that stage, or?
Yeah, I kind of have an agent at this time, and I have my parents, but at the end of the day, like, it was my decision, and yeah, it was obviously a hard one, but pick Pats in the end.
Yeah. And like, did it feel like going home?
Yeah, it was pretty much like it was like a year long. That never happened, but it was it was good.
But look, that was a big year as well for you. I
yeah.
mean, we get to FAI Cup final in a minute, but even you played for the conference in the Europa Conference for them, did you?
I played in the Conference League then with the 19s. Yeah.
Yeah, that must have felt good to get
it was brilliant. We played Red Star Belgrade, and their stadium was amazing and all that. So
I wanted to ask about that. Yeah, so like, it's for, I suppose, football fans that like their bit of football history. It's a notorious cauldron.
Yeah.
What was it like coming out of that tunnel and coming up out of the?
No, it was
all the spray paint and all that.
It was very good, and obviously then as well in the home game, it was the first time that we kind of had fans, because it was in the under-19s, the Euros League. So it was very cool. Obviously going on the plane as well, but everyone. So it was very good. That's
a great experience. Really, really is. So talk to me about the FAI Cup. As you know, being a Waterford player now, we've coveted the trophy since 1980, and we can't seem to get that monkey off our back. We will eventually, but
absolutely.
But you not only play in the final, but you score in an FAI Cup final. I mean, that's dreamland stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that was that's still to this day like the best like moment of my life. It was pretty much just came off the bench. And yeah, just the ball kind of just dropped to me.
It must be kind of the thing that you're lying in bed the night before.
Yeah.
You probably know at that stage you may be starting on the bench, do you?
Yeah, probably not at that stage. I'm coming off the bench.
But surely you're lying in bed the night before going, imagine coming on and the ball. And it does actually happen. And you're in the Aviva Stadium.
Yeah.
Talk us through a little bit of it if you can.
To be fair, it's kind of hard to remember. It was kind of just the ball kind of just dropped. And then I kind of seen, obviously, the centre back was kind of coming in, and then I either could have taken him on or take the shot. And I kind of seen, James Talbot was the goalkeeper, was kind of to the right side of the goal. And I just said, I'm just going to hit this. And yeah, it went in. But from the moment that the ball left my foot, I don't it was like blank. It was just like the ball hit the net, celebrations, and then don't remember anything after that. Yeah. And then I kind of didn't come back into my senses till about 2 or 3 hours after the game.
Really?
Genuinely, yeah.
Do you remember the trophy lift and everything?
No. Genuinely, no. It was I was so buzzing off adrenaline and things like that it was one of the craziest moments of my life, yeah.
And where do you keep your FAI Cup Winners medal?
It's tucked up into my bedroom, in the drawer, yeah.
Okay, that's an important question as well. So look, then it becomes, the cross channel comes knocking again, I suppose, then, which is, well, I suppose originally would have been what everyone wanted. I think our league is so high quality now; it's a completely different prospect. Yeah. But you did mention that it was maybe potentially something that you looked at maybe at 16 or so.
Yeah.
But what felt like the right time to give it a go when Fleetwood came knocking?
Yeah, well, it came really late in the transfer window, and I think Pats have made 2 or 3 signings of strikers, and I was kind of thinking, sitting there well, why are they making signing of strikers when I'm here? Obviously that goes through your head. Yeah. And then Fleetwood kind of came knocking late on the window, and I kind of said more of a why not? Yeah. Let's just go for it. And then obviously I went over, and that was good. Obviously Charlie Adam was the gaffer there, and really enjoyed my time under him.
And Charlie's a great guy. I met him once or twice, and I would know him from being a Liverpool player and from being a Blackpool player because he burst on the scene for a Blackpool. Yeah. You're obviously a good bit younger than me, as we've established, but if you had a team in England, who would it be?
Liverpool.
Oh, okay. I think we did say that before. So you're actually not far from Liverpool when you're going over there. Yeah. You have Charlie there, who you probably at least know played for Liverpool. Yeah. Was that kind of I wouldn't say a pull or anything like that, but was it kind of a cool little thing?
No, it was very cool. Obviously, when I went in and met him, he obviously rang me before I got there, and I was like Charlie Adams ringing me here on the phone, it's a bit mad, Yeah. But it was very cool. Obviously meeting him, and then obviously some of the stuff he can still do in training, even though he's retired, it was a joke.
He was known for his dead ball.
Yeah.
You know, so it must have been crazy to see that.
That's mad.
But what's the transition like as a young lad? You're still very young going over there. Is it difficult to kind of move country at that age?
It was a bit, to be fair. Obviously, it was my first time leaving home, and I didn't really know much about where Fleetwood was or about England. But it wasn't too bad. Obviously, I met Stevie McMullen obviously early on there, so me and him had a bit of a partnership there. Right. But it was good. Obviously, it was tough to kind of get into the team at the start. I was playing a bit of 21s and stuff. But then once I got in, I was really enjoying playing.
And did you know any of the other lads over there, or did you know Stevie beforehand?
No,
you just hit it off with him.
No, I didn't know Stevie. Well, I think I was in an Ireland camp with him once, but we didn't chat in that camp. But then I met him after. Obviously, I kind of knew of Ronan Coughlin. Obviously, was over there, and Phoenix was over there, so I kind of knew them before as well. But all the boys were really sound over there. Yeah,
makes it a lot easier when you at least know of someone, because I think you're kind of once there's a familiar face there. Yeah. But really cool that yourself and Stevie kind of looked after each other.
Yeah, no, it was very cool. Yeah.
Look, as you said, you played a bit of 21s and then got established, but that was the year the Fleetwood went down.
Yeah.
How does that feel, being part of a team when that happens?
Yeah, it was. To be fair, I kind of played the last 9 or 10 games, and to be fair, it's obviously easy to say it now, but I think we got really unlucky. Yeah. I thought there was a few games where we could have won, and I think we went down by 1 or 2 points in the end. So I felt like if a few games went our way, we could have easily stayed up, but that's just football, isn't it?
Absolutely. I just always kind of, there's a lot of talk on these things about when you lifted the trophy and when you did, and everything is so, rainbows and butterflies, which is not football and it's not life. Yeah. So I'm just always interested in the mentality, because I know professional sports people have such a relationship with mentality. It either goes one way or the other. Yeah. And I'm always interested in the collective when something like that happens. Do you kind of is there shouting and roaring? Is there, look lads, this has to happen now, let's pull together, you know?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of shouting and roaring after a few games, but that just shows that, like, obviously the players, they care and they wanted the best for the club. But it was like the first meeting after we got relegated was like, obviously Charlie Adam was just saying, like, we're going to try and go straight back up. So that's the kind of, you know, move on and let's just see where we can go from here.
Yeah, and I think then you coming here, when you signed for Fleetwood, I know there was a lot of League of Ireland fans that were going, oh, this is for Waterford. And I know that wasn't the case. Fleetwood genuinely wanted to sign you and stuff like that. But I will say, selfishly, us as a fan base, I wasn't working for the club when all this happened. I was when you signed here.
Yeah.
But I was, obviously, and a lot of us were hoping that it would eventually end up that you would come here because you'd made such a splash in the League of Ireland that we were like, my God, what a player he would be for us. So we were very happy you were coming here. When you were coming here, do you maybe reach out to, I know you're obviously from Ireland, so you know the club and all that, but do you maybe speak to someone like a Phoenix or someone like that and say what the crack is over here?
Yeah, no, obviously I was chatting to Phoenix before. Obviously there was talks and I'm kind of chatting to the gaffer, like seeing, like, you know, what the crack is. And obviously I was chatting to Phoenix and he said he loved his time here.
Yeah.
And then obviously I know a few players that played here before, like even when I was at Pats, and they loved their time here as well. And it was kind of, it was a no-brainer because I just wanted to play football, and this is the best place to go at the time.
Well, you seem to really kind of, you know, get kind of settled here very fast. You know, you came with a smile on your face, and we were delighted that you came. And listen, I'm not going to go into the new contract and stuff because we've done that. If people can go back on the Facebook or whatever on YouTube and watch that. But I think the fans immediately took to you anyway.
Yeah. No, it was obviously a really good start. I think scoring in the first game of the season was a bit of the monkey off the back. Obviously, as a striker, you just want to score a goal and get the you know, the shoulders down. I think that was a really good time. And then obviously we kind of went through a bit of a rut. But I think when Laws and then obviously the gaffer came in, I kind of came into my own and started playing really well. And then the fans have been brilliant even after, you know, even if we lose, they're giving you encouragement, and obviously when we win, it's brilliant as well. And I think, you know, thinking back to, you know, when we played Cork away, I think when I scored the goal to put us 1-0 up, I remember like just keep playing, like the fans going mad in the background, and just, you know, you kind of just want to do really well for them and give them something to, you know, be proud of and, you know, to cheer on. Yeah,
and look, listen, we're not here to slag anyone off or anything like that, but you did mention it, so I'm going to kind of keep going with it. Like, you know, the previous manager, you know, didn't work out, whatever, we went through a bit of a lull, but you did seem to have a little bit of a change yourself personally when Laws came in, obviously, but then when John arrived as well, that seemed to really benefit you.
Yeah, I feel like I just obviously at the start I kind of was taken out of the team for a while, and we weren't doing great, and then obviously Laws came in, and, you know, I kind of knew Laws from Fleetwood, and I got on really well with him, and he put me straight into the team, and then we kind of, you know, took off from there, and we were just flying really. And then obviously John came in, and then he had a really good style of football that suited the team really well, and I just really enjoy my football. And then when you're enjoying your football, it's very easy.
How do you feel about your song that they're singing about, you know? Have you heard it?
I have heard it. I don't know the full amount of words to it, but
I had to text my 10-year-old nephew to get the words today before I came in here. They're brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's when I know they're kind of chanting for me, it's obviously class.
Because I'd heard the tune of the chant, because it's the same as the Chiesa chant that Liverpool do, and all I heard was Inch Core, and I was going, who was that one about? And obviously it's you, and I just think it's probably the best chant we have at the moment, I think.
No, it's
does that feel cool?
Very cool. Yeah, very cool. It's obviously just, you know, love from the fans, and appreciate it. And
love that.
Yeah.
Outside of football, what do you like to do?
Loads of stuff. I love, definitely down in Waterford, I love going to the sea.
Okay.
Me and Stevie.
You swim in the sea?
Always going to the sea, sauna. I love watching sports. I'm big into golf, big into hurling, big into rugby. Kind of watch any sports.
Do you golf yourself?
I do golf myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm all right.
I'll get
around. Yeah, I'm probably off 18. Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad.
Not great.
No, it's not bad though.
It's all right.
No, I know there's a couple of lads who are golfing and all that. It seems to be kind of something that we're developing in the.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's a bit of a golfing culture coming up now. Yeah.
I like that. And what else then? Do you like music, movies?
I'm not a big music man, but I'm a movie man. I think I'd watch watch every movie that's ever been out there, to be honest.
Really?
During COVID, I think I watched 2 movies a day.
Oh yeah, same as myself.
Yeah, 2 movies a day.
Okay, well, I mean, we'll finish on this then, but give me your top 3 movies of all time then.
Top 3
If you had to pick 3 that you're only, say you have an iPad and there's only going to be 3 movies on it forever. Okay. What are they going to be?
Let me think about that. All right, I'm going to go Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
The war movie.
Yep. We're gone so old now, lads, that he has to explain that Saving Private Ryan is a war movie.
Probably go Happy Gilmore. That's a funny one.
Excellent.
Not Happy Gilmore 2. I didn't rate that one. And then I'd go Interstellar. Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, listen, man, I'm just very absolutely Christopher Nolan, absolutely brilliant. I'm so impressed with these. Right, myself and Tommy are going to continue to talk about movies, considering he knows what he's talking about after this. Tommy, thank you so much for being with me. Best of luck for the rest of the season and into next year.
Perfect. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Tommy.